Now we will try to create an interactive report. I'll just go back. Here classical basic list is over. Now I am going to create an interactive report. So now I will say int1 interactive. I am copying the same classical report. Because my interactive report will be the continuation of my classical report. In this interactive report, what I want to do, let me tell you. When I execute my report here, I am getting some output. So whatever the screen which is appearing to me, for example, when I execute my output, whatever the screen which you are looking now, that is called basic list. The screen which you are looking now is called basic list. So now tomorrow I will get some other requirements. Say for example, when I double click on this particular material, I want to see in which plant this materials, that means M-01 material may be available in plant number 1000, 2000, 3000. So maybe this material number 02, it could be available in different plants. So I will get such a requirement, like when I double click on this particular material, I want to see what are all the plants this material is available. Otherwise, when I double click on this particular sales document, I want to see who are all the partners of this particular sales documents. Who is a ship to party, who is a bill to party. So I want one more screen where these details should appear. Take any field, double click on any field. I want to get a further information related to that particular field. So the further information or drill down information is displaying in another screen. So that is called interactive report. When I want more details about a particular field, I will double click on the particular field. Then one more screen comes and there I can display the more details about the particular field. So that is called interactive or drill down report. So I can develop several number of drill down reports. So how to do that? Let us see. The first way of doing this is called hide techniques. So we have several techniques to do that. The first way to do that is by using the hide technique. So as of now, I am going to do that by using a hide technique. What is the hide technique? What you need to do is, when you are displaying the output, so here you are displaying the output, right? In the basic list, you have done a loop statement. This is where you are displaying the output. When you are displaying the output, write a syntax called hide your work area. So inside the loop, what I am doing, I am hiding the work area. So this hide work area will store your content, work area content in a buffer. Buffer means a temporary memory location. Now come back. There is an event called @line selection. @line selection. So make use of this event, @line selection. Whenever somebody double click on your output, your control directly comes here in the @line selection. Here you will say perform display first interactive report. Double click on this subroutine. Double click on this subroutine, and here you write a select query. Like you may declare an internal table, you may declare a work area, you can write a select query. For example, I will say data lt_marc type table of ty. I will make use directly marc structure which is available in S11. Similarly, ls underscore marc type marc. So I have an internal table and work area. I'll write a select query. Select all the fields from marc table, put it into my internal table whose name is lt.marc, where material number matnr equal to whichever the material number you double clicked. In the output, you are getting several materials, right? Assume you double click on a particular material. With that material, for that material, I want to go into MARC table and check for that material what are all the entries are available in MARC table. Because I want to get all the plants, then MARC is a table which stores plant-wise material details. So for that material is available where? In the work area where you have hided. What is the work area name which you have hided? You have written a hide syntax. What is the work area name which you have hided? That is gs underscore out, which has matnr field. So in this particular work area, there is a field called matnr. This will store the material on which you double click. Maybe in the debugging I can show you more details. So when you double click on a particular material, that material will available in this work area. Based on that material, go to MARC table, get the data, put it into LT-MARC. If size of RC equal to 0, if size of RC equal to 0, loop at your LT-MARC, that means your MARC internal table, put it into work area. The loop has always end loop. So here you write the work area contents, that is write ls marc hyphen matnr, ls marc hyphen works, that is a plant, ls marc hyphen, okay, done. Every time I want to put my output in a new line, so I'll give slash. Now I will execute, provide some input here. After giving the input, when I execute my report, whatever the screen appears, that is called basic list. So now this is my basic list. When I double click on particular material, see for this material, what are all the plant, what are all the purchase groups, those are appearing here. Similar, I'll come back, I'll double click on some other material, M20. For M20 is available in these plants with these purchase groups. Okay, I'll double click on some other material. Maybe I'll go down some other material, M02 or 05, M05. So M05 is available in this plant. How this is happening? Because of the hided work area. So you have written hide work area. When I double click, what happening? Let us see. When I double click /h, I'll put a break debugger here. I'll say /h. Double click on any material. For example, M-17. I'm double clicking on this. When I double click on this, where I'm going? I'm going into Ecline selection. So that's why for the interactive report, this is the event. For the interactive report, when you are double click on a particular line, this Ecline selection event will trigger. Okay. So you can see here, Ecline, the cursor is automatically coming into Ecline selection. And it is trying to check what is the code inside this display first interactive. What is the code? Select star from MARC table and put it into this table where material number is GS out material number. GS out material number is hided material which has M-17. You can see it has M-17. Based on M-17, we are getting some data into this IT-MARC. This is a MARC table. We went to MARC table, and in the MARC table, we have seen how many entries are there with M17. There are 3 entries. So all these 3 entries we are displaying. This is called my first interactive report. This is my first interactive report. So now when I double click on this plant, for example, I want to see the plant name. Otherwise, when I double click on this purchase organization, I want to see some other details of this purchase organization. So one more screen I want. So that is called second interactive report. So like this, I can build 20 interactive reports. One basic list plus 20 interactive reports. Usually it will be asked in your interviews. So how many interactive reports can I create, and after that what will happen? So now when I double click on this first interactive report, so now whatever the screen appears, this is the first interactive report. Previous screen, whatever is appearing to you, that is this screen, is a basic list. This is not an interactive report. When I double click on one of the field, any one of the field, if the output comes, this is the first interactive report. When I double click on any one of these fields, then the output comes, then that is the second interactive report. If you want to write a second interactive report, what to do? Where you can write? What you can do is, you declare this internal table work area in the global data, because if you declare it in a local data, you cannot make use of interactive report with the hide technique. Whenever you are using a hide technique, make sure that whatever the work area you are hiding, that should be declared in a global work area. Of course, I am declaring both internal table and work area on the top of my program. So here I have declared. Now I will come down. So I want to write a second interactive report. So in the first interactive report, I will hide my work area. So how to do? Hide my work area name, that is LSMARC. So this LSMARC should be a global work area. You should not supposed to declare it local. If you declare it local, your hide will not work. Hide technique will not work. So this is done. After that, what I should do is, I should go to the event outline selection as usual. So here I should go to outline selection. Here I will write perform display second interactive report or something. But how system identifies whether you want to display first interactive report, or whether you want to display the second interactive report or third interactive report? There is a variable called SCI list index, SCI, LSIND. The SCI list index will store the interactive report number. Say here I can say like this: if SCI LSIND list index equal to 1, then display the first interactive report. Else if SCI LSIND list index equal to 2, then display the second interactive report, and so on. If SCI index is equal to 3, display third one, fourth one, and so on. So now I will double click on this display second interactive report. Assume in the second interactive report, I'll simply give some write statement. Say something here. This is second interactive report. So I'm giving here one write statement simply. This is just for your understanding, but instead of this write statement, you can write here a select statement with your hidden work area, and then maybe you can loop it and you can display some other output and so on. Okay, but just to explain you the concept, I have given a write statement here. Now I'll execute. So I got a first basic list. This is a basic list. Now when I double click, interactive list, first interactive report this is. When I double click, second interactive report. Okay, so like this. So what I'm saying is, instead of this write syntax, you can write a select query based on the work area which you have hidden, work area which when I am double clicking on this particular line, this is the work area which I am going to hide. So based on this material or this plant or this purchase organization, write some select query, get some data, useful data, and then you can display the second interactive report and so on. So like this you can generate up to 20 interactive reports. So now hopefully you got what is an interactive report, right? So this is the way to create an interactive report with the help of hide technique. We have used a hide syntax here to create an interactive report. So there is one more way. There is one more way to do this, that is called get cursor technique. There is one more way called get cursor technique. What is that get cursor technique? What I'll do is I'll copy the basic list into interactive 2. I'm creating one more report. So the basic list I'm copying. Now I have created a new program whose name is interactive 2. So here I'm going to use get cursor technique. What is a get cursor technique? Here we will not hide any work area. We will not write the hide syntax. Instead of that, we'll do something like this. At line selection, event is the same event. If psi lsind equal to 1, all these things are common. So you will say perform display first interactive report, else if second interactive report, else if third. So all these things are common. Now I will double click on this perform display first interactive report. So here I will do the same coding what I have done in the previous thing. That means declaring an internal table, declaring a work area of MARC. So I'll try to copy and paste the code which I have done in this first interactive report in the subroutine. So here if you observe, I have written some sort of coding, right? So getting the data from MARC table, if size of RC equal to 0, I am displaying the output. So the same code I will put it over here. Select query on MARC, but internal table LT-MARC I have to declare LT-MARC and work area MARC. So I will declare these two things. Okay, but right now what is this GSOut MATNR? GSOut MATNR will not store the content on which you double click. Previously we have hidden a work area. Because of that hiding, this GSOut MATNR is storing or capturing the value on which you double click. But here we have not hidden. So this GSOut, that work area will not have the value on which you double click. Now the challenge is to get that particular value. Once you get the value, the select query works. You will get some entries into the internal table. Once you get the data into the internal table, you will write it. That's not a big deal. So how to get the value into this? So now the thing is, what you need to do is you have to write a syntax something like this. You have to declare two variables, data, fname means a field name, maybe of length some 30-40 characters, type C, and field value fval of length some 30-40 characters, type C. So declare some two variables here and you write a syntax like this: get cursor fname, get cursor field name will come into this, value will come into fval. Now what I'll do is I'll make this program active. You cannot use hide with the local field. Where I have used, okay, sorry, this hide we are not going to use anymore in this particular get cursor technique. Check it, activate it. Now I will put a breakpoint here. Okay, so to show you what this get cursor is doing, let us provide here some values. I will execute this. Now for example, I will double click on any one of the line. For example, 4980, I will double click. 4980, when I double click, 4980 is the value. Field name is Veblen. We have double clicked on the Veblen field. The value is 4980. After this particular get cursor, my field, if I double click on a field, what is there in the F name? The GSOut-Veblen. What is there in a value? 4980. So here I can come to know on which field I am clicking and the value under that particular field. In the previous technique, in the hide technique, we don't know for which field we are double clicking. In the previous reports, system doesn't know that you are always double clicking on a material number or you are double clicking on some other field like Veblen. System doesn't know in the previous case, but in this case system knows that okay, whatever the field you are double clicking, that will come and stores in fname. Whatever the value is there under that will be available in fval. So here what I will do is, if my fname equal to GSOut-matnr, if field name, if somebody clicks on this material number field, then only do all these things. Else if the people are clicking on sales document number or date or some other field, then what I will do is I will say message, please click on material, type information message. I want to provide some information message. Similarly here the value is coming into fval, right? So the value on which field you are clicking, that is coming into fval. So my select query material number, I will pass this fval. So now let us see, save check, activate this. And execute. Now when I execute, say any line, any one particular line, I will double click. For example, I am double clicking on the item number, not double clicking on the material. I am double clicking on the item number. So see what is happening. Now what is there in fname? Fname is GSOut-POSNR. So we have not clicked on matnr. So it is checking this if condition. This if condition is getting failed because you clicked on POSNR. So you are getting a message, please click on material. So you are getting this message. You are not getting the interactive report. When you click on a material, then what will happen? Your field name is MTNR, value is M02. So with that value, I am writing a select. So here in the where condition, I am using fval. Fval means M02. So with that M02, I am writing a select query on MARC table. I am getting the data and displaying the output. So this is my second interactive report. So this technique is called get cursor technique, and get cursor technique is better than hide technique because you have much flexibility, you have a control, you can come to know on which field you are double clicking. Whereas in hide technique, you don't know on which field you are double clicking. Fine, so this is the other way of doing it. So this is how you will do the interactive reporting. I'll take the basic list, then I'll click on a copy and make it as now interactive list 3. So in this interactive report, what I want to do is I want to make use of the event called @user command. So what is the importance of @user command? For example, your basic list has some buttons on the toolbar. You want to click on a button and some action has to be done based on the button click. You can make use of the event @user command. Now when I execute this, for example, see, I'm getting some output. Okay. So now what my intention is, I want to put a button here. So when I click on a button, I want to see the material and their description for all the materials. Say for example, for all the materials whatever I have here, when I click on a button, I want to put a button over here. When I click on the button, I want to see material and their description for all the materials. Such kind of requirement you have. Then you can do it with the help of @user command. We will try to put a button over here on the application toolbar. This is called custom application toolbar. This is called standard application toolbar. In the standard application toolbar, it is a standard thing. You cannot put any button. If you want existing buttons, you can disable. Say for example, you decide that I don't want a back button, I don't want an exit button. You can disable the existing buttons, but you cannot put your own buttons additionally in the standard application toolbar. But here in the custom application toolbar, you can provide your own buttons. So now let us go back to our program. What we have to do is we have to write some syntax over here after displaying the output. So here after displaying the output, I will say set pf status, set pf status. Any name you can give in single quotes. Maybe you can say Jnaren underscore stat status. Give some sort of name here. What is the pf status means? Pf status means the menu options on the top which you are looking, standard application toolbar and custom application toolbar. All these three together is called as pf status. Menu bar, standard application toolbar and custom application toolbar. So now we are going to design those three our own way. So now I will double click on this particular Jnaren stat. Then it is saying this particular GUI stat is not available. Shall I create this? Yes, create it. So now a window comes, a small pop-up is coming up. Here you need to provide a short description. Provide this is some GUI status. Continue. Here three options are there for you to design a menu bar, to design your application toolbar, and this is for function keys. Now when I click on this button here, you can see these are all the buttons generally appears for you on standard application toolbar. Right now here also you can see you have a save button. This is for enter. This is a save button. This is a back button, and so on. Each button is represented with unique 4-digit code. Each button is represented with unique 4-digit code. For example, in my program, I want to make use of the back button. Then I will give a unique 4-digit code for this back button. To remember easily, I will provide BACK. You can put any 4-digit code for each and every button. Exit button I don't want. Then I want cancel button. I will say CANC. So here I have given another 4-digit code. Similarly, you can provide unique 4-digit code for each and every button you would like to place for your report. So now after that, you want to put your own button, your own customized button on your report. So that is material description. For example, you want to display the material description. So it is always better to assign the button to a function key. So in your keyboard there are function keys, right? F1, F2, F3. So always you assign a button to a function key. For example, here F5, F6, all these are function keys which are freely available. You can assign to this. For example, for F8 function key, I will assign some button. So that is display text, right? So I will give a unique 4-digit code as a DISP. The description is display material text or display materials or whatever. I'll give some text here. Press enter. Now let me save this. So for this unique 4-digit code DISP, I have assigned function code F8. Then I will go to the application toolbar. So this application toolbar is a place where you can attach buttons to the custom application toolbar. So till now what you have done here, you have decided standard application toolbar which buttons you want, and similarly what you have also done is you have also selected a button whose name is display materials and assigned the function key F8 to that. But you have to place it on your application toolbar. So if you have to place it on your application toolbar, so go to this application toolbar, give here DISP, the function code, 4-digit unique function code which you have given to this particular button, DISP, press enter. In the bottom you can see the description is automatically coming. From where? From here you have already given this DISP display material, so that description is coming automatically. Say for example, if you want to put some icon, see for example, see this button here, there is an icon over here and there is a description. If you want to make your button like this, double click on this particular button. Here you can provide an icon. There are several icons. If you click F4 on this icon, these are all icons. You can choose any one of the icon. Okay, so you want to put the material description, so select any one of the icon here, and icon text. So what text you want for the icon? So I will say display material description. Info text also I will give. So this in brackets I will say info text, so that I can show you some difference between what is the icon text, what is the info text later on, and then I will continue. So what are all things I have given? I have given some function text, icon name, icon text and info text. Then I will continue. So I have placed one item here. Similarly, you can place n number of items so that n number of icons will come, n number of buttons will come on your application toolbar. So now here there is something called menu bar. So that means these menu items, you can put your own menu items. Here I will say go to. Here I will say options. There are two menu items I want to put. In the go to, I will say when I double click, here I can provide unique 4-digit codes again in this go to. So I will say back and I will say CANC, back and cancel. In the options, I will say DISP, display materials. Let us see how this will appear now. So after giving all these things, now I will save it, check it, activate it. So my GUI status is active. Once my GUI status is active, then come back to my program. From where we came here, from our program. So activate this GUI status, go back. Now activate your program and try to execute your program. I have to put a full stop. So I will put a dot here, activate. And now let us see in our report output whether the button is coming out, whether the menu options what we have provided is coming or not, and so on. So now when I execute this, see now here I am getting some option display material description. Here I have go to and options menu I have designed. Similarly here my back button is coming up, my cancel button is coming up, save is disabled, exit is disabled. All the other buttons will come by default. You cannot hide or you cannot make disable of these buttons. These buttons will come by default. You have a control over save, back, exit, cancel and enter buttons. Okay, so now I have not given a save button. I have not given a exit button. Similarly, go to, in the go to I have given back and cancel. In the options I have given display materials. If you can see for display material, function code F8 is assigned. Similarly, here I have given an icon and the text. When I put my cursor on the top of the button, it should show me, see, info text is coming out here. Display material description. In the bottom, info text is coming. So this is what the difference between a button text and info text. When you put cursor on a button, whatever the text is appearing, that is called info text. So you can see the info text over here. So like this you can put your own buttons, your own menu options for your report. Now what we need to do, when I click on a particular button, what is expected? For all the materials, I want a material description. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I will give here at user command. So this is a event which I have to use. Here I will say case SciUCom. SciUCom is a system variable which will store the 4-digit function code given to each and every button. So for each and every button we have given a 4-digit function code. For example, for back button we have given BACK, for cancel button CANC. Similarly, when you have given the button display material, then for that DISP we have given. So this SciUCom will store that 4-digit function code when you click on a particular button. So based on this SciUCom, we can handle the functionality here. So when I'll say here, when somebody clicked on back button, or when somebody clicked on cancel button, I will say leave list processing. So this is a keyword. So whatever the list is there, whatever the program which you are executing, it will leave that particular program. So that means this program, it will leave to list processing, not leave list processing. We have to say leave to list processing. Then whenever somebody clicks on the other button, DISP, here we need to display another report. So I will say here perform display material description. I'll double click on this, create a subroutine. Material description is available in MAKT table. So I'll declare one internal table, data, itab, type table of MAKT, then work area type MAKT. I'll write select all the fields from MAKT table and put it into internal table whose name is itab. For all entries in, because I want material description for all entries of the materials which are available in my GT out table. So I will say here for all entries in GT underscore out, where material number equal to GT underscore out hyphen MATNR. So I got the materials and their description. So now I will say if size of RC equal to 0, loop your internal table, that is itab, and put it into work area. Then write work area hyphen MATNR, material number, work area hyphen material description. The field name is MAKTX. If you go to MAKT table, the field name will be MAKTX to show the material description. Now save it, check it and activate. Let us see how this is coming out. Now I will execute the report. Let me click on this button, display material description. You can see here M-01 for that some sunny 01 and so on is coming. So for M-01 there are various languages for the same material. The description is maintained in various languages, maybe in English, maybe in Japanese, maybe in Chinese, German. If you want in a specific language, in the select query, you also add a SPRAS condition here. That means language condition. You say and SPRAS equal to Psi Langu. That means in an English language, if the material description is available, then only it will come. So now I'll execute. When I click on this display material description, you can see for each material only one description is coming. If it is maintained in English language, then only the particular description is coming up. And if you can observe in the bottom, end of page is also coming. End of page is a common event. We have a different events for top of page. Yesterday we saw there are two events, top of page and top of page during line selection. Top of page is to provide headings top of page for your basic list. Top of page during line selection, if you want to provide a heading on the top to this interactive report, you can make use of the event top of page during line selection. But end of page is common. If you don't put end of page for the interactive report, whatever the end of page you have given to the basic list, that will appear in the interactive list also. Fine, so these things will appear in the interactive list. So end of page by default will appear. So in case if you want a different end of page, I already told you to handle with sci list index. But top of page is purely for your basic list, and top of page during line selection is for interactive list. So this is what about your @user command. And there is something called @pf. For example, now I will comment this section. Otherwise, what I'll do is better I will copy this report into another one to make you understand the other event that is called @pf. So in this program, we'll try to understand how @pf was working, but this is obsolete. Nowadays, we are assigning the function keys in the pf status. So in the pf status itself, we will assign the function keys. But still, if you want to work with @pf, so what you can do is, I'll comment this portion now. So our pf status, whatever we set, that will not come because we have commented this. So by default, what are all the coming as per standard SAP? All those buttons, menu items will appear in the output of this report. Now let me activate this report. So whatever the buttons we designed, whatever the menu items we designed, that will not come because we have already commented the pf status. When I execute this, see, by default, what are all the things are coming, those are coming up. No button and all. But my requirement is whenever I click on a function key F5, then all the material description should come. Previously, when I click on a button, then material description should appear. But now, whenever I click on some function key, then my material description should appear. So what to do? So what you can do is you can write this event @pf say for example 5. Then you will say perform display material description. So whenever the user clicks on a F5 on his keyboard, so the particular subroutine, whatever is under that particular @pf5, that means under that F5 function key, that is getting executed. So now I will activate this. Execute. Here no button, nothing. So all the menu item GUI status is as per standard SAP. We have not changed anything over here. But when I click F5, I am getting the material description. So it is working on the keyboard of my computer based on the function keys. But nowadays we have an option to assign the function key in the GUI status. Previously they don't have an option to assign function keys in the GUI status. At that time this event was helpful, but nowadays we can do the same thing in the GUI status. Okay, so these are the other two events. @user command, especially when you want to put buttons on your interactive report or in your basic list, you can make use of @user command. Then @pf status is to assign some function key for a particular functionality. So any questions here you ask me. Otherwise I would like to give some couple of exercises or points which you have to practice further. on these reportings? Do you have any questions now? Just let me know. For example, you write events in a different order. For example, you write initialization at the end and startup selection in the first place of your report, and then maybe at selection screen in the middle of your report. If you have not followed the order of the events, see what is the order generally? What we have written here on the top. If I go here, you can see first I have written initialization, after that at selection screen. Say for example, if I put this initialization in the bottom, top of page, on the top, maybe startup selection somewhere here in the middle, what will happen? So what will happen? You got what is my question, right? So what will happen if I change the order of events? Try it yourself and let me know the answer. What is happening? Is it making some difference? Which kind of difference you are getting? Let me know. If you are changing the events, remember when you are changing the events means you are also changing the subroutine. So don't just copy and paste the event alone. What you need, what I'm saying is entire code which is under the event. Say for example here startup selection is there. I'll cut this entire thing and put it here. Then is it will make any difference? That's what my question. Okay. So don't copy paste the event alone, but you have to also take care of the code which is under the particular event. Okay. Under this event, perform get data is there. So along with this perform get data, if I change this event to another place, what sort of difference you are getting? Okay. So that is the first question. The second important question what I have is, when I am executing my report, I'm getting some output here. It's okay. So now if I go down, see page number 1, page number 2, 3. Now still if I go down page number 4, everything is coming perfect. But when I go to the last page, when I click here on the last page, see this is the last page. This is page number 221. After that, whatever is coming, that is the last page. For that, there is no footer is there. So my question is, for classical report, for example basic list or interactive list, whatever it may be, how to put footer for last page? It will not come by default. So there is something beyond this, like why the footer is not coming. If you are able to think the reason for that, why the footer is not coming, there is the answer how you can bring the footer for this. Try it. If you are not getting it, we will discuss again. Okay. And then I have one more question. In a single report, if I give at user command also, at line selection also, there are two events. For example, in the same report, I have a at user command, I have at line selection, both are there in the same report. Then which event will be triggered when you click on a particular line? When I double click on a particular line, whether at line selection will trigger or at user command will be triggered, let me know. So my question is, if same report has at line selection and at user command, which event will trigger, or which event will be given with a priority. So try to find out this. For all these three questions, you can simply do one thing. You put a breakpoint and try to debug and see what is happening. Then you can come up with answers. Okay, so this kind of questions generally you will get in your interviews. So try to practice when you have some time.